All right, so today we're going to do a deep dive into something that might not sound super exciting at first, but trust me on this one. Okay, we're talking about expense management
Expense manager,
on
yeah.
QuickBooks Online.
Okay, I'm listening.
Now I know what you're thinking, spreadsheets receipts. Oh my gosh,
You're
right.
right. Not exactly the most thrilling topic.
But stick with us because
Huh.
we're going to uncover some really cool features and tips that can actually make this a lot less of a chore.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
So we're diving into this awesome guide from Meritorious Consultants LLC. It's called Managing Expenses on QuickBooks Online.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that one.
And let me tell you, this guide is packed with insights, like seriously good stuff.
Yeah, what I really appreciate about this guide is that it goes beyond just the how-to. It really digs into the why,
Right.
like why these features matter for your bottom line.
Exactly. And, we all know the basics of like logging into QuickBooks, recording an expense,
Right.
but this guide goes way deeper.
Yeah.
Like when I saw the section on advanced features, it's like, okay, this is where it gets interesting.
It's like leveling up in a video game.
Right. You're unlocking these secret powers with
Yep.
QuickBooks that you didn't even know existed.
Totally. And these aren't just like bells and whistles either.
No.
These are features that can really make a difference in how you run your business.
Like, for example, attaching receipts.
Oh, yeah, attaching receipts.
I'll admit, I used to think that was just about, having those receipts handy if you ever got audited.
Right, just for safekeeping.
But this guide made me realize it's so much more than that.
It is. It's about having a really clear record of your spending so you can analyze trends.
Trends.
Over time, imagine being able to see exactly how your spending on, say, marketing has changed over the past year.
Oh, that would be so helpful.
Right. That kind of insight is gold.
Yeah, so it's not just about, like saving those receipts. It's about actually using them to understand your business better.
Exactly. It's data-driven decision making.
All right, so speaking of making smarter decisions, let's talk about project or job tracking.
Okay, project tracking.
I'm guessing most of our listeners are already familiar with this feature.
Yeah, it's a pretty essential one.
But this guide has some really interesting tips on how to really maximize its potential.
Oh, yeah. Like what kind of tips?
Well, one thing that Meritorious Consultants highlights is using project tracking to not just monitor expenses,
Okay.
but to analyze profitability.
Profitability.
Yeah, so you can see, okay, this project cost me this much,
Right.
and I made this much on it.
So you can actually see if you're making money.
Exactly. And that's super helpful for like pricing your services.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
If you know exactly how much you spent on a similar project in the past,
Right.
you can make much more informed decisions about how to price future ones.
It takes the guesswork out of it.
So,
Right.
all right, so we've talked about attaching receipts, project tracking, and now I want to get into something that I think a lot of people can relate to.
Okay. What's that?
Splitting expenses.
Splitting expenses. Yes. The dreaded mixed expenses.
We've all been there, right? That business meeting that turns into like a casual dinner.
Happens all the time.
Or maybe you're out running some personal errands and you grab some office supplies while you're at it.
Right. Those gray areas.
And then it gets tricky trying to figure out, okay, how much of this expense was actually for business?
You don't want to be overstating those deductions come tax time.
Exactly. And that's where this beautiful split expenses feature comes in.
It's a lifesaver.
It allows you to allocate those mixed expenses accurately so you're not, fudging the number.
Keeps everything clean and tidy for the IRS.
Okay, so now on to a feature that I personally rely on a lot.
Hit me with it.
Recurring expenses.
Ah, yes. Those lovely bills that just keep on coming.
Exactly. Rent subscriptions, software licenses.
Set it and forget it, right?
Well, you want to set it and forget it, but it's easy to let those slip through the cracks if you're not careful.
Oh, yeah. Late fees are no fun.
And that's where QuickBooks can really save the day. You can automate those recurring expenses, set them up once, and then just let QuickBooks handle the rest.
I love automation.
Right? It saves you so much time, and it also ensures that you're never going to miss a payment.
Peace of mind delivered digitally.
Exactly. And the guide also mentioned that this is particularly helpful for things like subscription services.
Oh, yeah. Those can be tricky to keep track of.
So many businesses are moving towards those subscription models these days. It's easy to lose track.
Absolutely. So automating those payments is key.
Okay, so we've talked about attaching receipts,
Yeah.
project tracking, splitting expenses, and recurring expenses. Are you starting to see how these seemingly basic features
Yeah.
can actually be really powerful tools for managing your business finances.
I am. And what's exciting is that we're just scratching the surface here.
Oh, there's more.
Oh, yeah. QuickBooks Online has a whole arsenal of advanced features that can really help you streamline your workflow, make smarter decisions, and ultimately get a much clearer picture of your financial health.
Okay, I'm ready to unlock more of those superpowers.
Let's do it.
Okay, so we've covered some pretty powerful ground already, but let's keep this momentum going and dive into a feature that honestly feels like pure magic.
Okay, I'm ready.
Credit card linking.
Oh, yeah. This is where QuickBooks really starts to feel like your personal financial assistant.
Right, like it's almost like having a little digital bookkeeper,
Exactly.
keeping tabs on every purchase you make.
And the best part is it's not just importing the transactions,
Right.
it's actually categorizing them for you
Oh, wow.
based on, your past behavior, your preferences.
So instead of me like manually entering every single coffee, every office supply run,
Right.
QuickBooks is like learning my spending patterns and just doing it for me.
Exactly. It's taking the heavy lifting off your shoulders.
And if I need to make adjustments, I can always go in and recategorize things right.
Absolutely. You have full control,
But the bulk of the work is done for you.
which frees up so much time and mental energy.
Speaking of mental energy, let's talk about a feature that might seem a little niche at first,
Okay.
but it's incredibly powerful for businesses with multiple divisions or locations.
I'm listening.
Class and location tracking.
Class and location tracking.
I'll admit, when I first encountered this feature, I was kind of like, how would I even use this?
Right.
But the guide really opened my eyes to its potential.
Yeah, it's all about getting those granular insights into your spending.
Granular insights.
Imagine you have a retail business with multiple locations.
Okay.
By tagging expenses with specific locations, you can actually see which locations are most profitable,
Oh, that's interesting.
where you might be overspending,
All right.
where you have opportunities to optimize.
So it's not just about tracking expenses. It's about using that data to actually make decisions.
Exactly. Strategic decisions about inventory, staffing, marketing, you name it.
So it can really impact your bottom line.
Big time.
And it's not limited to just physical locations, right?
Yeah. Nope. You can use classes to track expenses for different departments, product lines,
I see.
any segment of your business that makes sense for you.
So it's really about customizing it.
Exactly. Tailoring the tool to fit your unique needs.
All right, let's move on to a feature that is essential for any business that bills clients for expenses.
Okay.
Billable expenses.
Billable expenses. Yeah, this one seems pretty straightforward.
Yeah, but I'm curious if there are any hidden gems in the guide related to this feature.
Well, one thing that Meritorious Consultants points out is that this feature is about more than just getting reimbursed.
Oh, okay.
It's about transparency and building trust with your clients.
Okay.
When you clearly track and bill those expenses, you're giving your clients a clear picture of where their money is going,
Transparency.
which builds trust and helps avoid any surprises or disputes down the line.
So it's good for client relationships.
Absolutely.
And QuickBooks makes it so easy to do right.
Super easy. You just check a box when you're recording the expense, assign it to the relevant client, and boom, it's ready to be added to their invoice.
Streamlined and painless.
Exactly.
All right, let's shift gears now and talk about something that can be a real headache for business owners.
Oh, no, what's that?
Mileage tracking.
Mileage tracking.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to have a love-hate relationship with that one.
I know, me too. It used to involve so much like scribbling on notepads and then trying to reconstruct my trips at the end of the month.
Thankfully, those days are long gone, my friend.
So it's a solution.
The QuickBooks mobile app.
The mobile app.
It has a built-in mileage tracker that is a lifesaver for anyone who drives for business.
Okay, so it's not just like logging miles, is it?
Nope. It goes way beyond that. You can categorize your trips, assign them to clients or projects, even apply the IRS standard mileage rates.
So it takes all the guesswork out of claiming those deductions.
Exactly. Ensures you're maximizing your tax benefits.
I love it. And what about that automatic tracking feature?
Oh, yeah. That's a game changer. You can literally set it and forget it.
So QuickBooks is capturing every mile I drive for business.
As long as you have the app running in the background, it's tracking everything.
That's amazing. Yeah. All right, let's talk about a feature that really showcases QuickBooks automation prowess.
Okay, lay it on me.
Bank feeds.
Bank feeds. Ah, yes. The magic of automation.
I have to admit, when I first started using QuickBooks, this feature felt like pure magic.
It really is. It changes the game in terms of efficiency and accuracy.
So how does it work?
Basically, you connect QuickBooks directly to your bank accounts and credit card accounts, and it creates the seamless flow of information.
So QuickBooks is constantly pulling in my transactions.
Yes, categorizing them, updating your records.
It's like a live feed of my financial activity.
Exactly. And as QuickBooks learns your spending patterns, it becomes even smarter at categorizing those transactions.
I feel like it's reading my mind.
That's a beautiful thing.
Speaking of technology working for you, let's talk about multi-currency support. Now, this might not be relevant for every business.
True.
But for those who operate on a global scale,
Right.
it's essential.
Absolutely. Trying to manage expenses in multiple currencies manually is a nightmare.
I can imagine.
QuickBooks makes it so much easier. It handles those currency conversions automatically using up-to-date exchange rates.
So I can just focus on my business and know that QuickBooks is taking care of all the complexities of those international transactions.
Exactly. One less thing to worry about.
Hey, let's wrap up this exploration of advanced features by talking about one that's absolutely crucial for making informed decisions.
Hit me with it.
Reporting.
Reporting, yes. This is where all that data we've been talking about really comes to life.
So QuickBooks offers all these different reports that let me see my expenses from every angle.
Exactly. You can see your spending by category, by vendor, by project, over any time period you choose.
It's like having a financial detective at my disposal.
Right. You can use these reports to identify areas where you might be overspending opportunities to cut cost trends that could inform your pricing strategies.
It's all about turning data into action.
Exactly.
And QuickBooks makes it so easy to do.
It does. It does. So we've covered a lot of ground here, but as we move beyond the guide itself,
Okay.
it's time for you, the listener, to start thinking about how you can apply these insights to your own business.
Right, we've explored all these features, but the real magic happens when you start using them
To solve your specific challenges.
and achieve your business goals.
Think about the pain points you've experienced with expense management in the past.
Like, what are those things that keep you up at night?
Are you drowning in receipts?
Struggling to keep track of project budgets.
Spending hours reconciling credit card statements?
Once you've identified those challenges,
Yeah.
you can start to see how these features we've discussed can be your secret weapons.
Absolutely.
If you're constantly misplacing receipts, that mobile app with its receipt capturing superpower can be a game changer.
For sure.
If project budgets are giving you headaches, mastering that project tracking feature can bring you so much clarity and control.
Definitely. And if those credit card reconciliations feel like a monthly marathon, linking your card to QuickBooks can free up hours of your time.
It's all about working smarter, not harder.
Exactly. Find the right tools for the job and use them strategically.
Streamline your workflow, reduce that financial stress.
And remember, mastering expense management isn't a one-time event. It's an ongoing journey of learning, experimenting, and refining your processes.
It's a process.
It is. And the beauty of QuickBooks Online is that it's incredibly flexible and scalable.
Flexible and scalable.
It can adapt to your changing needs as your business grows and evolves.
So whether you're a solopreneur just starting out or you're a seasoned business owner with a team of employees,
QuickBooks has the tools and features to support you.
every step of the way.
And don't forget, you're not alone on this journey.
There's a whole community out there.
QuickBooks has a wealth of resources available to help you learn the ropes.
Like what kind of resources?
Helpful tutorials, a vibrant community of users who are always happy to share tips and tricks.
Oh, that's great.
And of course, you can always refer back to this excellent guide from meritorious consultants.
Like having a personal expense management coach in your back pocket.
Exactly.
You know, as we've been talking about all these features and strategies, it's really struck me that mastering QuickBooks Online for expense management
Yeah.
is kind of like leveling up in a financial video game.
I like that analogy. You're constantly unlocking new skills, discovering hidden treasures,
Right.
and gaining more and more control over your financial world.
Exactly. And the best part is
Yeah.
QuickBooks keeps evolving, so there are always new challenges to conquer, new levels to reach.
It's a journey.
It is.
It's about embracing that continuous learning.
Finding ways to make the system work for you.
Absolutely.
So to our listener out there who's ready to become the ultimate boss of their business finances,
Yes.
we say go forth and conquer those expense reports.
Yeah. We're cheering you on every step of the way.
And remember, managing your expenses doesn't have to be a dreaded task.
No way.
With the right tools and strategies,
Right.
it can become a streamlined process that gives you a clearer picture of your financial health and sets you up for success.
It's all about taking control, making informed decisions, and ultimately freeing up your time and energy to focus on what you do best.
Running your business.
Exactly.
That's a wrap on our deep dive into QuickBooks Online Expense Mastery.
We did it.
We hope you found it insightful, empowering, and maybe even a little bit fun.
Until next time.
Happy tracking.